In this video, let's talk about my model, the ESPM model. What does it mean to you? How can it help you? And what can you take away from this? Stick around. This might be very informative for you. I think you'll like it. The ESPM model actually came out of a large speaking engagement that I had with a group of nurses years ago. And everybody liked the presentation, but they came up to me and said, Tom, I need a takeaway, I need something. So I had to come up with something that was very applicable that I believed in. And so I came up with the ESPM model because obviously there's a takeoff on that sports network thing. So the first letter of ESPM, what does it mean? Each letter has a meaning. The first letter E, eat. Now, let's be clear here. I'm all about balance and macronutrients, okay? So you have the 3 macronutrients. You want to have about 40% of your macros in carbohydrates, okay? I never want to eliminate a macronutrient. I never advise that, and people that have taught me that. So 30% of your intake should be protein. 30% should be healthy fats, as much as possible. Now these vary a little bit. If you look on the internet, you can say 45 to 65% of carbs and 10 to 35% for protein and 20 to 35% for the fats. Okay, whatever. I mean, for me, that's what I go with and that's my story. So the first letter of the ESPM is eating. We want to get this balanced out. You know, if you're hydrated enough, if you're drinking your half your body weight in ounces a day in water, you want to make sure that you have that included in your E of your eating plan. So keep that in mind, please, because this is where we want to go. Again, balance. You need all 3. 40% carbs. This is from Tom, for Tom, what Tom does. 40% carbs, 30% protein, a lot of plant-based protein, and then 30% of fats, healthy fats. As many of calories that you can get from healthy fats, the better. Okay, so number 2 on our list, ESPM list, is sleep. All right, so sleep, I'm a huge proponent of having that good REM sleep. I have sleep apnea. I've had a CPAP machine for a lot of years. So I learned about sleep and I had no idea I had a sleep disorder. If you wake up at night, if you are having issues with it, you might want to get tested. Most insurances will cover a sleep study. They're very easy to do, and it's good to get this checked out. But 7 to 9 hours, we got to get our rest. If we don't get our rest, then we're walking around like a bunch of zombies, and it's just not going to help us with our healing. So sleep is absolutely critical to our quality of life. And remember what I was saying about ESPM and the model itself. You know, if any of the 4 are not quite in balance for you, because you may have several of these that are working and one that is not, or you may have all 4 that are a little off. This is a starting point. So I want you to think about this. ESPM, we've had eat for E, we've had S for sleep. Next is the big one that nobody ever guesses when I ask them in a speaking engagement. What does P stand for? Coming up next. Okay, so now we're on letter 3 of ESPM, and like I just said, if any of these 4 are out of whack for you, this is where we start. This is a starting point, okay? I need something to start off. That's where people ask me about this at that speaking engagement I mentioned earlier. So what do you think the P is for? I had some good ones in the past, and to say prayer and praying and all of these, those are great. But what I'm talking about is poop. Poop, baby. I learned this from my oldest daughter. She had colic. I didn't know what colic was. Clueless parent, young person. So I learned a lot about poop. I even wrote a chapter in my first book, the Maximize book, calling myself a poopologist. Well, you know what? You can learn a lot about how you're feeling from looking at your poop, keeping an eye on your poop, knowing how you're pooping, doing these things. And I have done a lot of research, a lot of reading, interviews on the radio program about gut science and all of the microbiome that you have that's happening down here. And you'll know if your poop is not right, if you're not regular, if you're irregular, if you're suffering from hemorrhoids, sorry about that. Any of these types of conditions, obviously this is where you could have an attribute attributed it to your eating or your sleeping. These all work together. So again, ESPM, P stands for poop. If we're not pooping, we're not doing it. That's that. We got to poop better. Okay, come up to the last letter of our ESPM model. If you missed any part of go back and watch any of the other parts of this video to catch up on these things. That's the cool thing about doing the videos. But M is one of my favorite things. It's movement. And think about, people don't understand that movement helps with what's called our lymphatic system, our filtering system in our body. And that's why I like to jump rope so much, because it's that bouncing. If you've got a trampoline that you can use and bounce on those, if you can do the bounce movements, the walking, the moving, that helps with the filtration system, because there's no pump for your lymphatic system. And if your lymphatic system is not working correctly, you're going to have serious issues, and that can go back into your eating, into your sleeping, into your pooping. Movement is all, it's all tied together. I mean, so the movement, whatever the movement, remember now, go back to the video on the Fantastic 5%, find it right there. Fantastic 5% on the eating and on the movement, and pick some pieces out of those. Just cherry pick things that work for you. Choose things that are going to work for you. Move for things and do things that you like to do. Activities that promote movement will help with the microbiome. We're not talking exercise and fitness, we're talking movement. Exercise that promote movement, that are fun. Find what you like to do more of it, that gets you off the couch. Go play with the kids, do the thing, whatever it is that you like to do, just do more of it. Do these things and we will be better off. Good starting point for you all. There's the model for you, ESPM. I hope it helps you. And as I said, if anything in your life of any of those four is not working to its optimum for you, if something's off, you'll know it. Obviously, you'll know it. That's where we start. So that's our starting point. ESPM. Eat, sleep, poop, move. Get these four things going in the right direction. You've got a great jump on a great life, and I want to help you get there. Again, reach out to me. Coaching, counseling, chatting, I'm there for you. It's a radio program, watch our videos, whatever you want to do. It's totally fine. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching the videos. And we're here to help. All right? Thank you guys. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Peace out. Love you.